Hey there, folks. Nikolai here. I am in an undisclosed boulder field near Leavenworth, Washington. Welcome to my new series. I'm calling it Wander and Ponder. It is shot in 360 video on an Insta360. I find in YouTube it often degrades my video quality, so for the best experience, I'd recommend you turn up the resolution of the video and keep a watchful eye. I think the best way to experience this would be in a VR headset, but if you're on a phone, you can move your phone around, and if you're on a computer, you can click and drag. On a screen, on a touchscreen device, you can also click and drag. The goal of this series is to showcase just all the cool, beautiful places in this world. It's not always just swimming with sea turtles. It's not always Red Bull stuff. I found there's a large undersupply of 360 video of just pretty nifty places. This moss right here is really wet, kind of gooey. I'm gonna climb up. This series is gonna be very lightly edited, unless it's something I have to cut for privacy reasons, of if I bump into someone or see something like a animal carcass that could get my video taken down. Other than that, I'm gonna try to leave this video as authentic as possible. Oh hey, there's a little cave over here. We're gonna wander around where I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the place, and in the comments you're gonna tell me a little bit as well. Wow, look at this. This is about as close to a cave as you get in this area. See anything in there? And the really cool thing is I could be being pursued by a predator and have no idea. And then we can learn about that together. So if you observe anything, please comment it below so we can share it with our whole audience. I'm gonna climb up this hillside, and then I'm gonna tell you a bit about why this boulder field is here. Forgive my heavy breathing. I've gone to this place since I was a kid. It's really beautiful. Got another little cave down there. Let me know if there's anything cool down there. These boulders are made of granite. I don't take them for granted. These sunglasses are pretty cool. I found them in the river. They're Ray-Bans, but you can see there's a bit of erosion off of those. Once the weather warms up, we will do an aquatic wander and ponder episode, or several. It's like my favorite thing. Whew. Okay, you may not be able to see it, but through the trees, there's a big mountain ridge, and then there's a huge valley. Hopefully we'll get a better view of it later. But the mountain I'm standing on is actually made of sandstone. All these granite boulders came here embedded in glaciers. They traveled, some disturbance to the dirt. Could be a person, could be a critter. Look at all that moss. I'm a sucker for good moss. Oh, there's some trash. Let's get that out of here. Hopefully I don't cut myself. So the way that the ice got here, or not the ice got here, the way that these bad boys got here, and the reason why they're all rounded, is they were inside of glaciers. And as those glaciers carved out this valley, they left these behind. I'm gonna try to do a cool science demonstration of that at some point, and when I do that, I will link that down in the description. I'm kind of stuck up on this rock. It's about a V18 climbing down this rock. Oh! Oh, wow. Look at all these little sparkles in the granite. I know on the Icicle Gorge Trail, there's garnets embedded in granite, and I would guess that those were dropped here by the same glaciers. Let me know in the comments if you think these sparkly bits are garnets. Either way, these rocks are just beautiful. It's the reason why people make countertops out of them. The selfie stick is still wet because I stuck it in a pond. Oh, so we can see down here, we got some spider webs glistening in the sunshine. We got a little cave, some more spider webs. These boulder fields are home to many, many critters, including spiders. I've seen marmots in these fields. Would not be surprised if we saw one sunning itself. Down there, you can see there's a little bit of snow. Say let's wander over across this ridge and then we're gonna go down. Look at that brush. Wonder what's there. Some of these rocks do have a bit of a wobble to them, so it's always a bit of a gamble stepping on them. Oh yeah, this one's got a little wobble to it. Down there, you did some charred wood and another spider fella. If you know what type of spider that is, please comment it so we can all learn together. And you can see it hasn't really caught in any bugs, but it's caught in some pine needles. So maybe it's like a vegetarian. Look at this brush. I'm not too sure what kind of plant this is, so if you're like a botany enthusiast, please tell us down in the comments. Ooh, look at this. This wouldn't be a bad spot to spend the night. Nice room. Probably list for $1 or $2 million on Zillow. There is a bit of poop from some sort of animal. Maybe that's a bobcat, I really don't know. If you're a fecal enthusiast, let me know what critter decided to use the toilet without talking with a realtor. Okay, we got a little bit of sunshine, some glimpse at down there. You can see the hillside. Down in that valley is the city of Leavenworth. So if there's any geoguessers among you, you may be able to figure out where I'm at. But whether you figure out where I'm at or find your own location, just make sure you wander and ponder. It's like a rag here. No critters living under it. But we'll tuck that away and we'll toss it. Little good forest etiquette is leave it better than you found it. So I may run out of pocket space, but at the very least, there's less trash. Look at this fella. Oh, we got some beetles. I believe they are nesting in that tree. And we also have a spider high-rise. And look at the size of this tree. This is me for scale. But this tree is huge. There was a pretty nasty forest fire that burned quite a lot in this area, so that tree must be built different or just lucky. I like this little meadowy grass spot. Look at these fellas. Oh, let's see if there's anything under this loose rock. Did some flat sprouts, I think. These are dogtooth lilies that just haven't sprung yet. Could be wrong. Remember, if you point out something in the comments or call me out for saying something wrong, which is very possible, this is all off the top of my head, please put the timestamp so we can share our observations, or you can keep it to yourself. I think there's like some calcium buildup on that. Maybe it could be animal poop of some kind. That white stuff, I'm not too sure what that is. Huh. Ooh. I remember running through this tunnel as a kiddo. If I remember right, yeah, there's a cave that goes down. Now, I'm not a cave diver with a loving family, so I can't squeeze down in there yet. But that doesn't mean my selfie stick can't. So, POV, you're a cave diver. Anything cool? I remember my brother went down there as a kid, and I think it pops out down there. But ooh, look at this crack. Oh, here's the secret cave. Secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret tunnel. The really cool thing is there's millions of beautiful gems wherever you are. You just gotta go looking for them and appreciate it. Like this lichen is a symbiotic relationship. I believe it's between a plant and a fungus. All of these rocks are covered in this lichen. You can see there's all that detail. There's some exposed what the granite actually looks like, but most of it has all of this life on it. This lichen takes decades to build up to this level. It's almost like a land version of coral. It does make oxygen in. Some great oxygen. One of the first steps of terraforming Mars could be to put lichen that can survive on Martian rocks at the equator. I remember seeing something about that on the Discovery Channel as a kiddo. But for all we know, there could already be life there. We just haven't found it yet. But there's probably I'm gonna wager 20 different types of lichen and plant on here. There's some moss. These boulders are harboring a lot of life. Oh, look at that little moss. It's cosplaying as a marmio ball. We got a wobble rock right here. Ignore my hobbit feet. Oh, this is beautiful. My dad nicknamed this rock Matterhorn, because it's the biggest one around here. Whoa! I almost lost my balance there for a second. Let's go to the base of the Matterhorn rock and see how it is. For those that don't know, I believe the Matterhorn is a peak on the Alps in Europe. I could be wrong about that, so let me know that I'm wrong. I've been going to the rock gym a lot, but bouldering still spooks me. But I can't help but notice there's quite a few holds on this rock. You got to really watch out for pine needles on these rocks. I have gotten many abrasions from not being aware, but it's pretty friendly holds in there. That crack seems possible. There's a friend of mine that is ridiculously good at bouldering, and I've seen him climb up some rocks that appear smooth, but just like with wandering, if you take a closer look, there's holds everywhere, there's lichen everywhere, there's life and beauty everywhere. Look at that crack. You could possibly do that. I am not gonna climb one-handed without a pad. That is not within my wheelhouse. You want to try to figure out where this place is. Looks like the moss is enjoying itself. There's a bunch of different microclimates down here. Might not be the right word, but different areas suited to different niches. You can see there's a little bit in the shade, not right now, but it has this shade structure, boulder above it. But moss tends to like lower light, higher moisture areas, and seems to be enjoying it. Oh, that is so soft. How you doing, little moss? Hope you're enjoying yourself. All right, let's continue the wandering and the pondering. Still don't know what that stuff is. I've seen like stalactites made out of calcium before, and maybe that's it, but I'm really not confident in that. Look at all that yellow stuff. I believe that's a lichen of some kind. This should be the entrance to that secret tunnel we saw earlier. I think if you look up and around, you may be able to find it, but who knows? Ooh, I see another secret tunnel and a potential trap for my legs. Let's very hesitantly put weight down here. Doesn't feel good to put my entire body weight on decaying plant matter, but that's the price of wandering and pondering, is you get to explore and you don't know. Woo! Yeah, that, I'm not trying to do a kickflip on that rock. As a kid I walked on this beam, but not beam. I walked on this log as a kid, but any log that you can be like Steve from Minecraft and punch and get wood, that's not a log that is load bearing. So the center part, because that kind of hurts when I punch that there, it's a little more sturdy, but at the end of the day, rotting wood is rotting wood. A little fun fact, the reason why we have so much coal deposits is because for quite a long time, bacteria that can digest cellulose, which is partly what trees are made of, that's what holds them together, didn't exist. So it wasn't until that bacteria evolved that trees would rot. They would just pile up and pile up and pile up. And then, they would eventually get buried, and due to heat, pressure, and time, they would turn into coal. And now we can burn it and make videos on Sora with it. Take a look down the secret tunnel. Anything cool? Anything over here? The adventure continues. Ugh. Ooh, little ice crystals right here. It's really beautiful just to see the seasons change. And the ice and the pine needles encased in it. Oh hey, look, there's some trees. Those might actually be fruit trees. Let's take a gander at them. Ooh, look at that dripping moss. Okay, that might be the highlight for me. Like I said, I'm a sucker for moss. Let me use my extreme bouldering flip-flops and climb down. Ooh, the ground is nice and warm. My inner lizard wants to bask here in the sun, but the people need to see the moss. Is that like not the most beautiful thing? That clump of moss could be like over a decade old. And you can see it's like clinging on and then it's peeling off, but it's still holding on for dear life. And look at these dribbles. Come on. Oh, look at that. Look at that water droplet right there glisten as it emerges. You can see it casting a light behind it. And these dribbles from rainfall, from snow melt, go down into this mini river, flows into that crack and supports the life. I'm just gonna call that star moss and all the different varieties. I would love to know more about this, so please tell me in the comments, because otherwise I'll be forced to employ the law where if you say something wrong on the internet, someone will correct you, but don't want to deliberately spread misinformation. But look at that. We have all the granite there. We have the dribbles. Look at that monstrous beast of a plant outshining the moss. Oh, like seriously, like I'm not acting up for the camera or anything. I seriously really love this moss and the water dribbles. I'm a big water person. A hydrohomie, as some would say. Look at those water droplets going. And the shimmering, the reflection. Okay, for those of you that aren't as into moss, we're gonna keep moving. Those trees, they look like they could be fruit trees. There used to be orchards on this mountain a long time ago. I doubt anyone was growing here. But could be squirrels took apples or whatever and buried them. So if you have a guess as to what type of tree that is, let me know. Right here I want to show you something really cool. So white reflects light, including infrared light, back. Darker colors will absorb more. And you can see where all these plants are, because they're a little darker than that. They've sort of carved out little cavities just from warming up in the sun. You can see there and there, they sort of provide a location for heat to build up and melt through. Even the little pine needles on top, you can see they sink into the snow. And that's a really cool phenomena to observe. So I'm gonna talk about Mars again, because I'm working on a book that takes place on Mars, and one of the things I have the people trying to terraform it do is they are going to take charcoal, which they make from burning algae that they grow, and they're going to coat Martian regolith. That is, regolith is dirt, on another planet, but dirt has to have living bacteria in it. So regolith is just basically sterile sand. If you have a better definition, please let me know. But in my book, they will tumble it like in a rock tumbler. They'll cover the regolith with charcoal, which is pure carbon, and sprinkle it on the Martian ice caps. And this is to melt it and basically create global warming, but on Mars, to release CO2 in the poles into the atmosphere and begin warming the planet. So they do that with charcoal in my book. Which I am only about 5% done with, but I'm really excited. Let's continue down these boulders and see what we got. Some more of that mystery white stuff right down there. It's a beautiful moss deposit down here. Right down where I'm pointing, those are willow trees. I'm quite confident. And I think, yeah, this is just beautiful. There's the Matterhorn rock. There's all these boulders that are insanely old, and yet they remain, and they support so many different types of life. And it's just beautiful. I think this is a good spot to end this episode of Wander and Ponder. If there's a specific area or biome you want me to highlight, let me know. And I will see you on the next one. Have a good one. Don't forget to share what you think down in the comments. Bye-bye.